and twice the fun, 'cause every single thing is really two in one. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and when you add it up...
Okay, so it's time for... it's magic time. And today we're going to look at another deck and inspect it. And the deck we're looking at today is the Simic Combine deck. So let's bring that up. One of the... okay, oh, it was all rolled up. Alright, so this deck features as many of the other... I think these are guilds of Ravnica, different guilds. It features a couple of mechanics, as you'll see here. There's the Benthic Biomancer, appears to be a Merfolk. He has an ability called Adapt. You pay one colorless, one blue, and they adapt one. And Adapt basically means they get one. If they don't have a counter on them, you add a counter. And that was something I was confused about, and cost me a match because I couldn't, or I got very confused during a match because I kept trying to add more counters and the game wouldn't let me, and I thought something was wrong, but it's like, no, it specifically said if this creature has no counters on it, put a counter on it. And this creature has Adapt 1, so you put 1+1+1 counter on it, making it a 2/2. This guy is okay. Now that I understand the mechanic better, I probably will use him more. Whenever you put a counter on him, you draw a card, but you also have to discard a card, so have something in your hand you want to get rid of. Stony Strength also lets you put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control and lets you untap them, so you can just suddenly bring them back into play if you need to. There's a lot of cards in here that also manipulate the counters that Adapt puts on them. Here's the Incubation Druid, also very important to this deck. You tap them to add 1 mana type of any type that a land you control could produce. In this case, green or blue. Forest or island, if you would. If they have a +1/+1 counter on it, you add 3 type of that mana. You can also pay 3 and 2 forests to adapt 3, making them a 3/5. So pretty handy. Have a mana producing druid, elf. That's a 3/5 eventually, if you're lucky. Then there's the Soarform Hybrid. I really love the look of this card because he's got that whole Bigfoot thing going on. He's very cheap to get out, but very you can buff him up to like a 6/6 all of a sudden if you get him out later. Pretty handy to have a guy to have around. There's the Biomancer's Familiar. I probably think this deck could use another one of these because it's a very nice ability. Activated abilities like Adapt of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate, so that really reduces the cost of that, like making that this guy only be 4 to adapt 4 as opposed to 6, so that would be nice to have a couple of these guys in play. This effect can't reduce mana cost less than 1 mana, so and you can tap him, and the next time target creature adapts this turn, adapts as though it had no +1, so he gives you free adapts. So to some creatures, so that would be nice. I need another one of those in here. Maybe take this guy out, who I don't like so much. There's the Combined Guild Mage, Combine, Merfolk Wizard. You pay 1 green. The creature you control enters the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on it, which reduces it. You can't adapt then, so that would be great for when you bring out the Incubation Druid. They make a little combo. Combine Guild Mage, Preps. They come out with a 1/1 counter on them. They can't adapt, but they will be able to add 3 mana. They'll be a good mana source. You pay 1 and a blue. You can move the counter from target creature you control to another target creature you control. So that's handy to just keep moving counters around. A lot of counter movement. The Merfolk Skydiver. It's a flying fish person. It's a Merfolk mutant. When Merfolk Skydivers enter the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, so you can move them around. Now this is the other mechanic you'll see with the Simic Combine deck is Proliferate. When you pay to proliferate any number of permanents and or players, then choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. That's a bit wordy way to say just add a counter to anything with a counter on it. If you want, you don't have to. It's just certain ones, so not bad. Here's another proliferate card, pretty cheap. Proliferate card, just draw a card and proliferate. Kind of nice. This is a card I use a lot, Kesmina's Transmutation. You chant a creature, usually your enemy's creature, and it loses all abilities and has base power and toughness of 1/1. Hate to have that played on me, but it's a handy card to have in this deck. Also fun in this deck is Titanic Brawl. It's an instant. This spell costs 1 less cast if targets a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Target creature you control fights a target creature you don't control. So it's a way to bring out a big, tough creature and have your opponent, who wouldn't normally block it, have to fight it with one of their creatures and get rid of it. It's sort of like a direct damage spell indirectly. Applied Biomancy. This is always a good one. You can do, actually, this is one of those few instances where you can do both rather than either. You give it one of your creatures 1/1 and return a target creature to its owner's hand. Very nice. Then there's Growth Spiral. I love the art on this card. It's one of my favorite. You draw a card and then you can put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. So if you got like it's good to get out like early in the game though, so you get an extra land out really quick. Oh, and then there's Voracious Hydra, which has like a huge wall of text on it. It has Trample. It costs X to get out, which this is probably one of the cheapest Hydras in the game. 2 green and an X, but when it enters the battlefield, it has X 1/1 counters on it. But you can choose to double that number. So if you've got 5 mana, you've got you can bring it out at a 6/7 or something like that. It's really nice. You can also have it fight another creature you don't control. And I can't read the yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the one of the 2 options. And there's the Hydroid Krasis. These are some hinge creatures, by the way, in this game. Although there's only 1 of them in this deck. I think a rebuild of this deck would like reduce some of these other creatures and spells, and probably maybe at least double these guys. Hydroid Krasis, funky looking brain with snake tentacles looking guy. He's a jellyfish Hydra beast. That's another thing with the Combine. It is a combination of creatures put together. It has flying and trample. When you cast a spell, you gain half X life and draw half X cards when you pay X. It also enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counter on it. It's a fun one to get out later in the game and just really wrecks them usually. Then here is this guy I get out a lot, the Aeromunculus. He's a Munculus mutant. He's just got a lot of stuff going on there. Looks like something out of Lovecraft. He's flying, adapt 1. No, he's a good midfield player. Then we have the Gyre Engineer. Really another great source of mana. You tap him, he adds a blue and a green. Really good. Then there's the Incubation Incongruity. I haven't used Incongruity much. It is Incubation. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, which the game takes care of that. So, and then there's Incongruity. You exile target creature. That creature's controller creates a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token. So you can see the guy there being turned into a monster, and then there's the actual frog lizard. Not to be confused with the Lizrog, which we'll get to. Completely different from a Lizrog. Incongruity is something I don't play much because it's giving my opponent a 3/3, and most often that's not helpful for me. I could see using it on one of my own cards at times, but I haven't done that yet. Now here's the really the hero of this deck, who often has won me more games with this deck than anything else is the Sharkdo Crab. He's a shark, he's an octopus, he's a crab, he's everything, and everywhere you want to be, and a great hugger. You can tell just from that picture, he's giving them the old squeeze. He adapts for 1. The adapt cost is the same cost as summoning him, so not too bad. You get that out in the second round, or the round after you summon him. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on Sharkdo Crab, you can tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So when you adapt him, you can, tap your opponent's creature and just Sharkdo Crab can run through there. He's just a great card. He's a little meaty, so it's hard for people to just get rid of him immediately when he comes out. So a lot of fun. Then we have Zigana, Utopian Speaker, a legendary creature, and a Merfolk Wizard. Yep, that's a wizard, if ever there was. When Zigana, the Utopian Speaker, enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, you can draw a card. Another expensive Adapt 4 for 6, which seems to be the going rate for that. And each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it gains Trample, which is very nice. And then here is the Lizrog. Hooray for the Lizrog! I've been using Lizrog in one of my jank decks for funds with mutation. When Galloping Lizrog enters the battlefield, you may remove any number of 1/1 counters from among creatures you control. If you do, put twice that many on your Galloping Lizrog. So yeah, he's handy. You get him out and just pump him up, and he's a monster. Literally. Also in the mana area, we have the Breeding Pool and the Simic Guildgate that add dual mana, which is nice to have. Just one Breeding Pool, so that's very nice. So let's take this into the field, as they say, and see if we can't see how she is played. Start with an island. I'll put him over. Not a fiery place to be, but I'll get my little fire cat out there. And another forest, and nothing to play yet. Yep. Don't like my chances here for my Aeromonculus, but let's get him out. Yeah, now his Adapt 1 on him is a little expensive for his casting cost, but might keep him in play a little longer. At least the Ember Hauler here can't just take him out with 1 sack. I bet my friend here probably has an instant damage spell that will just blow him out of the air. If you would. He's thinking. Wow, he's apparently got a lot of choices to make. I only brought out a pack. Okay. I guess that's what he was having to consider. Yeah, I'm not going to block him, he'll just sack him. And back to me. Alright, I got enough out there to adapt him. I love the animation for that. Yeah, it's all chemicals and goo bouncing around. There we go. Alright. Well, that's okay, because I got a Sharkdo Crab. I might just blow up both of his Ember Haulers to kill the Sharkdo Crab. Would he though? I don't know. My turn? Is it? Hey! I got a lot of choices here. Oh, would it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's say 5. Seem right? So we get 5 health and 5 cards. Oh, half F. Okay. So 2 cards. Alright. Say no attacks. Oh, good, good, good. Alright, let's see. Growth Spiral. Draw a card. Contentious Plan. Proliferate. I should have done the other one second. Okay, Merfolk Skydiver. You know what, I'm gonna put it on him. And Cosmia's Transmutation, I'll put on him. Oh, and play a Simic Golden Gate. I guess Cosmia's Transmutation basically removes his on-attack ability. When Merfolk Skydiver comes out, I get to add a token to him. So I got him all pumped up out here. Oh, another Empty Hauler. He's probably going to sack one of those, take out my Skydiver. On very thin ice here. So, gonna block him. And block him. That's all I can do. Now he could actually kill me just with the Ember Haulers here. They would do 2 damage to me, and it would be pretty close to taking me out with just these guys, because it says any target. But I think he's focusing on just manipulating creatures. He has got nothing in his hand, so I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's trying to do the math on, like, would sacking these kill my creatures, and focusing on that more than just doing direct damage to me. There we go. There we go, he figured it out. There we are. He's very close to it. Alright. Oh, there he goes. Yes, he beat me. I know those guys. Let's see him for the forest out. And get the guild mage out. Yeah. A deck can have any number of cards named Persistent Petitioners. Oh no. This isn't going to go well at all. Okay. Let's see. Get him out. No attacks. Oh, so with this, you play 1, target player puts top part of their library to their graveyard. Yeah. Tap 4 untapped advisors you control. Target player puts the top 12 cards of their library into their graveyard. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah. Okay. Draw a card, play Growth Spiral. I wonder how many. Is this just a deck of petitioners? I hope it is. Put this out. I can't use it right now. No attacks. I don't have anything. Okay. Shark or crab. Oh my Hydra. That sucks. Oh, there it is. Oh, you hate to see it. Ah, and all I'm getting is land right now. One of those great moments. Alright. I'm just going to have him attack. In a few turns, he's going to have my whole library in the garbage. I can see that coming. Oh! Oh, there it goes. Ah, well, that was fun to watch. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. 5? Can I do 5? I honestly do wonder if he has anything besides petitioners in his hand. There we go. You know what? I'm just going to attack with both, see if he'll block any of them. I assume he'll block the Guild Mage at least? Maybe even with 2? Yep, there you go. Oh, he's just going to block. Oh, he's going to block both of them because he realizes what I'm going to do. Yep. Yeah. How many have I got? I have 17. Ah, it's not. This is not going well for me at all. Well, we can't do 4 just yet, I don't think. So we'll see. He can't attack because I'd kill one of them. Oh, well, that's probably the best video I got today. So, yay! This wasn't constructed. That's, wow, weird. And platinum rank. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do some editing to make something watchable out of all this. Okay, so that was a very weird match. Looking at that card, Persistent Petitioners. Target players puts, if you pay 1 mana, target player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. Tap 4 untapped advisors you control. Target player puts the top 12 cards of their library into their graveyard. A deck can have any number of cards named Persistent Petitioners. This is only illegal in Pauper. I do wonder, I was wanting to check to see, like, how do you add infinite... I'm not sure how that works in Arena, because I don't have all 4 petitioners, and I don't want 4 petitioners. I wonder how many petitioners that guy had. I think maybe put something else in your deck. Let's look, there's some other cards here with Adapt that are in the Simic Combine Arena. There's Skitter Eel. He's a Fish Crab. These are just a couple not in my deck. A Crab Turtle Crocodile called a Scuttle Gator. I just love that's a great name. Look, a Scuttle Gator got him. Adapt 3. That's pricey to Adapt 3. As long as Scuttle Gator has a +1/+1 counter on it, it can attack as though it didn't have a defender. He's basically a 6/6 wall. There's a few not collected. There's the Terramander, which I think is like the best version of this. He's a Salamander Drake. Adapt 4 for 8. This ability, though, costs 1 less to activate for each instance and sorcery card in your graveyard. There's the Growth Chamber Guardian, who's pretty great. Adapt 2 for 3. Whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on Growth Chamber Guardian, you may search your library for a card named Growth Chamber Guardian. Put it in your hand and shuffle your library. You want to have like a bunch of them guys. There's the Trollbred Guardian. He's a Troll Frog Warrior. What was it, the video game, the Ninja Frog, Samurai Frogs, where that was? Like something like that. So he's pretty cool. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has trample, so those would really pep up the deck a little bit. I'm not crazy about, I like Simic Combine. It can be fun when it works. It didn't work so great for me today, but that's how those cookies, they crumble sometimes. So I guess we'll check in with the next time. Oh, I missed this guy, the Skatewing Spy. He's a Valdalkin Rogue Mutant. Adapt 2, each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has flying. So you can get flying and trample and some other things there with some of these other cards. I might try to craft them later when I'm not working on other decks and check them out. Alright, that's all. Bye.